What is up, everybody? It is Saturday, March 29th, and now that we have the burn done and that video was just released, it's time to start focusing on other stuff here around the farm. So back here behind me, we've got our box beds that you saw in a previous video where I started tilling them, getting them ready for the onions. We had a pretty hard rain come through and it packed it all down. I've got to come through here again today, and I need to till them one more time, and then we're going to start setting our onions out today. I also have to get on the tractor. I am going to start plowing a small garden spot back up here, and then way over here in the field, way back over there, I'm going to plow it, I'm going to say 6-8 inches deep. I'm not going to go the full plow depth deep out there, but I'm just going to kind of turn the soil over a little bit, and then that's going to be used as our summer wildlife food plot over there. So we're going to talk more about that on the outdoors channel that we have, the TN Outdoors Fanatic channel. But today we've got to get this taken care of, and then depending on what time we have left over from that, we're going to start seeing about other things we can do. But priority number one is I got to get these beds tilled, and we got to get the onions set. I need to take a look at the weather. I need to check the weather because they are calling for hard storms here in the next 2 days, and I need to check the temperatures because I don't want to cover these with the frost cloth grow cover if we're going to have high winds in here, because if high winds come across this ridge, then any grow cover right here is going to end up way down there in the valley somewhere. So I need to check that before I decide to put the row coverings on and all that. But either way, I've got to get it tilled, I've got to get the rows laid out, and we got to get those onions in the ground. And I'm thinking this year about doing part of the onions up here in one of these beds, and then doing the other part of the onions up there where the dog is running around. You can barely see her right up there. So I'm thinking I'm going to split the onions up because these beds, just as I said in a previous video, they've kind of not really performed the way that I'm used to seeing here in the past 2 years now. And I don't know what that is from or what that is. And I did an at-home soil test kit, which I know there's a lot of error in that, and it showed that my levels were good, but you know, how accurate is that? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna get over here, I'm gonna get the tiller out, then I gotta get on the tractor, and we are gonna be busy for a while today, so I will catch up with you here in a little bit. Go. All right, here we go. All right, that is looking good. Wow, that got really fine and powdery. That's fantastic. Okay, I gotta go get the garden rake, and I'm gonna level it out as much as I can, and then I'm gonna start setting out my rows for the onions here. Work on trying to level this out as much as we can, and then after that we're gonna come back in and I'm gonna start making my rows. I'm back with the hoe. So I like to do this part with the hoe because it's a larger, it's like a 5-inch by 5-inch surface instead of the 2-inch by 12 or so, where I put, there it is, of the garden rake. So it's easier for me to go through and tamp this down flat to give a nice surface for us to put the onion sets into. And as I'm sitting here making this video, I look over here, and there are 2 long-beard turkeys down there in the burn. All right, we've got the onions in the beds here, and I kind of did a mix and match. So I've got red Creole over on the outer edge there and the outer edge here because they don't get as big. 2 rows here of yellow Granex, 3 rows of candy back over here. Anyway, I still have a bunch of the white Bermuda, and I didn't plant any yellow Spanish in here. So I'm going to get the plow on the plow. Actually, the plow's on the tractor. I'm going to go start laying out my other onion bed, probably up here beside the barn, where it's easier for me to get to and maintain and check on things. And that's where we're going to put the rest of the white Bermuda and the yellow Spanish are going to be put there. So Amy and the kids came out, helped plant these. Big help, put them in. The wind is picking up now. There's actually rain coming on the radar. It shows that rain's going to be here. It's 12 o'clock. Shows that rain's going to be here around 3 o'clock. So thankfully got these in the ground. I'm going to get this plow going, tractor and plow going, so maybe I can get that done before the rain gets here as well. Okay, so after we finished up over the box beds, getting those onions in the ground, I ran up to the house, got the tractor with the plow on, and for those of you that are no-till people, once again, stick your fingers in your ears. I came down here and I plowed this all up. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to use this for some garden stuff this year or if I'm just going to use it like I have in the past and use it only for my wildlife food plot. More on that, like I said, on the outdoor channel, but on my outdoor channel, not the outdoor channel. This whole flat that I'm standing in, that's about 2 acres in size, is the richest soil on the farm. We haven't grown any crops here in roughly 50 years or so. Talking to my neighbor Jack that was up here when we were doing the burn, he was telling me that my family used to have a huge garden here, and they would grow turnips, potatoes, corn. They even had the tobacco patch in here back when they had their tobacco allotment. So, and you can tell by just looking at it, the soil is dark, rich, dark brown. Whereas up beside my house, where I have had my garden in the past, it's kind of a reddish brown. It's not the red clay like you have down at my dad's house, but it's not nearly as rich looking as this soil here is. So I got to decide, do I want to possibly put some garden stuff down here and it be farther from the house and have to worry about wildlife getting to it, and the fact that I'm going to have a food plot over here at a minimum, which is going to be beside, you know, I can always string my electric fence around it like I've done in the past, keep anything out. I mean, I'm not worried about that. But I've just got to make up my mind, figure out what I'm going to do. But now I've got rain coming in. I got to get to the house. Taryn and I have to also get that top cover made for the seed germination box that we put together up there. I need to get that made and get that all ready to go before this rain gets here. So I'll catch you at the house here in just a minute. All right, so we've got a little bit of time left here before the rains get here. I am wore out. But we got to get this germination bed for our tomatoes and peppers. We got to get it taken care of because we're quickly running out of time to get these started. So what we're going to do today is we've got some of this western cedar. This was taken from some decorative shutters on a house that my dad did a remodel job on, and he brought home just this whole slew of western cedar shutters. And so we actually, my wife and I went through and we disassembled them. We kept all the wood, we kept all the hardware that was holding it together, and we kept all of the brass screws that were holding it all together. So yeah, we're a little bit of hoarding tendencies, although, you know, not as bad as some other people that we know. But we're going to use this. We're going to go ahead and get this measured, and we're going to start cutting this and assemble it to try to get it ready and stretch the either the screen, the window screen over the top, or we're going to stretch some grow cloth over the, or some frost cloth over the top. I haven't decided yet which one we're going to do, but we got to get these cut, get it mounted, and I'll show you how we're going to do that here in just a little bit. All right, getting these marked. This end over here has started to split, so we're going to cut from that side. Yeah, that side's okay. We said 42.5, right? I'm talking to Taryn. She's over here out of frame. My little helper. She's always coming along to help, aren't you, baby? Huh? Yeah, the chickens are coming to help. They'll leave as soon as I start this saw up. All right, let me see the saw. Is it set to the right depth there? Let's see if I can cut through two at once. Pretty close. All right, baby, you ready? Okay, look at that. That even split. See there? Well, here it is. I didn't show you the final assembly stuff. I could look up and see the rain clouds coming, and I did not want to take the time to get the camera set up and in position. I was just trying to hurry up and get it done. So we got it done. Rain still hasn't hit. It's actually skirted just south of us right now. So go ahead and show you a little bit. It's not a perfect alignment. When we got to measuring this bottom one, even though it's that composite decking material, it has warped a lot over 4 or 5 years of sitting out here in the weather. So now the western cedar top is perfectly square, and so it's actually, it's really good. And I've reinforced the inside corners, as you saw over there. I've got it on a hinge, so I can lift it up to get into it. There's a rest in the back, so it'll rest in an upright position. The only thing I'm going to have to do is, this is a little bit bigger than Taryn's carrot bed that we did, and it's starting to sag in the middle. So I'm either going to have to put a small 1x or something across the top to give a little bit of support to this, or I may just drive a post down in the center inside there and make it be just slightly above the height of the screen, so that way when you lower it down, the screen actually sets up a little bit higher than everything around it. So the easiest thing to do would be to probably put the brace in, and then I have a good internal structure in there to support it all the way across. But the other thing I may do, I got a bunch of handles laying around. I'll probably just put me a handle on here, so that way I can walk up to it, grab it, lift it up. So we'll see how this goes, but that's done. I'm not going to load it yet. I'm getting adjusted here because I'm uncomfortable. I'm not going to load it yet with the soil and everything, because I'm just tired, and they've got dinner going. I hear them up there grilling right now. So I'm going to call it a day. I've already put all my tools and everything away because I was expecting the rain to hit while we were out here. But that's it for I'm calling this the germination box. We can get a lot of tomatoes and peppers started in this thing. I mean, I don't know how many to imagine, because we've never really done it this way compared to the little containers that we do inside under the grow lights. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this works out. Now, I may end up having to pivot, and I may have to either put the PEX on top of it to make it have a little more headspace, or put a wooden frame inside there to give it a little more headspace. I don't know yet which one we'll have to do. Hey, Sadie. But that's going to be it for this video. I am tired. It has been a very busy day, but we got a lot accomplished out here today. And I got everything I wanted to get done, finished, before I have to head out of town for the next few days. So that's a good thing. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a comment. Let me know if you have any comments to, if you have any questions about what we're doing, any comments to what we're doing, if you've tried it before, if it didn't work, whatever. Any feedback you have, I appreciate it. But thank you so much for watching. I wish you a blessed week. God bless.